Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on Comics from the Future. This is the show we do every Friday where we're going to preview and show you new upcoming series, cool covers, and things we don't want you to miss so you can put in your pre-orders and guarantee to get what you want. In case you don't know, my name is Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
That is correct. And if you have not already, please take a second and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate it, and we are growing every week, and we've got lots of good content coming for you guys several times a week, so more in the future. So please take a second to do that. Also, just a couple of announcements before things get started. This upcoming Wednesday, November 24th, is Local Comic Shop Day. So if you have a local comic shop, then make sure to make plans to visit them. Not only is it new comics come out, there will also be exclusives for Local Comic Shop Day from all sorts of different publishers. So it's a fun day. Show some little extra love. And don't get confused. It's not free comic day. The stuff has a price tag
Don't
on
walk
it.
out the door with it in your hand, being like, it's free!
You might get tackled.
Just stop by the register.
Because it's not free, it's much nicer things, like
Yes.
foil cover #1s. I mean, some of these... I mean, last year they had, what was it? Something's Killing the Children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Local Comic Shop Day foil comic that everyone to this day is still looking for.
Yeah. So there could be some cool things. And also another announcement is that if you are local to us, or if you're just curious, we did get our diamond shipment in, which means that we got all the independent releases for the first time. Since we've been open, we didn't have every single new thing on the shelf, but it is on there now. So you can come get Radio Apocalypse, House of Slaughter second print, and everything else that came out this week independent-wise now. All right, and we'll have more announcements at the end. But
The biggest announcement that it's my birthday.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
It's
that is-
Andy's birthday.
Sorry I cut you
He
off.
had
I
to
know
do it
you were
himself.
leading up to that, but yes, I had to get that in there.
Wish him
Everybody-
a happy birthday
Yes.
in the comments.
Yes.
make sure to let him
Your
know.
gift to me is hitting subscribe.
Aw. Yeah, make sure to send him some birthday cakes in the comments, and he'll not eat them up because he can't eat birthday cake. Anyway, moving on. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so we're going to begin with our featured comics. This is typically issue #1s or very noteworthy issues that we want to talk about first.
So first off, which is, I feel like, I mean, how many years did we go without saying, it's a new Spawn #1?
I know.
But now we've done it 3 times in the past few months. This is the Scorched #1. Some places are calling it Spawn Scorched #1. This is, I believe, the last of the teased spin-offs from Spawn Universe. The Scorched is essentially the Spawn Universe version of the Justice League, or their big team-up book, calling themselves the Scorched. Don't quite know why they're called that yet, but this is a team of the original Spawn, Redeemer, Gunslinger Spawn, Medieval Spawn, and She-Spawn, all teaming up to tackle something that not one of them could take on by themselves. They must team up to do it. There's not a whole lot of information about the story for this. All I could find was in the solicitation for #2. It talks about them going to Russia to maybe, I think, break somebody out of jail. I'm not sure. Because the solicitation for this one is just about, look, it's a team of Spawns. Which is, I mean, that's a big enough selling point as it is. But this is by Sean Lewis. The art is by Paulo Sequeira and Steven Segovia. So it should be really good. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this. It's cool to see all these Spawns together, just witty bantering and you know, getting on to each other. This is our A cover by Puppeteer Lee. And this cover, I mean, we just got mere moments ago.
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago, this cover finally popped up in just one source.
Same for this one. This one cover we can only find on the website for the Spawn toys, but this is the booth connecting variant, just like there was one for, I guess, Spawn Universe, I think, also had one, and then we had King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and now the Scorch, so they all go together. And in the background have like every Spawn character ever. So this is the booth cover. We have the Capullo cover. Gotta always bring Capullo in to do a new Spawn cover.
Yep.
And then there will be a McFarlane cover. We can cut him a little slack. I mean, he's got like 4 books running now, or 3. But there's going to be a McFarlane cover. This is the Aguillo cover.
Looks very biblical.
Yes, with the Redeemer back there, and just a lot of red, and you think it's a cape, you think it's hair. It's both. And then there's a Mark Silvestri cover we do not have yet, as well as a Ryan Stegman cover. So, a lot of covers for this one. Not all ready, but you can bet they're going to be really good.
I feel like McFarlane saw Stegman's Spawn or Venom,
Yeah.
and he's like, if you do Venom that well, come on over to Spawn.
I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Ben Reilly Spider-Man. This is going to be a 5-part miniseries that actually digs into the untold story of Ben's time as Spider-Man back in the days of the Clone Saga when Peter Parker went out west to settle down with Mary Jane.
He went west. He put on a cowboy hat and he went west.
He went prospecting. But yeah, this is going to go over that time period, and the creators say that even though it's in the past and it's set during that time, you don't need to know the whole history of everything that's going on. You don't have to be like Andy and read all the Clone Saga volumes.
It was a big undertaking.
It was, I remember. You spent a lot of time with that. So, yeah, the creators say this is going to be one big mystery that unfolds over 5 issues. So, Ben Reilly has a really interesting perspective as Spider-Man because he is Peter Parker and he is not at the same time. So he is definitely has his own dark aspects of him in that way, but he still has the initial good essence of Peter Parker inside of him. So it's got a really interesting perspective. So hopefully this character will, or this series will give us a little bit more background and more to delve into.
I think it's really smart they're doing this because as it is my birthday, and now makes me feel old to think there is plenty of Spider-Man readers out there right now who, when Clone Saga was going on, weren't even alive. And this is a character that's been in and out of Spider-Man lore for the past 20, 30 years. But this is a nice refresher now that he's an amazing Spider-Man to
exactly
catch you up on maybe some of his supporting characters and all of that.
Some of his villains. So yeah, good timing with all that. It's also got the artist David Bagley, who did Domino, if you guys remember that series.
Yeah, really good.
A few years back. So anyway, got some covers for it. This is the A cover. And then we have the Jurgens variant. And then Scotty Young variant. So there are a few more that are going to be available, not up yet, so you can go check those out on whatever source you get your comic stuff from. There's
other
quite
than
a few.
us.
Yeah.
We know we're your first source, but go to one of your lesser ones.
Okay, so we are featuring Nightwing number 87. So what makes this issue so special? It made our feature. Well, the artist Bruno Redondo has done it again. His art on Nightwing has been so good. I don't think we've ever had this many Nightwing subscribers. The story, of course, is good, but I mean, it's like, what am I doing? Am I reading this, or am I just looking at it because the art's so good? So what is special about this issue is if you put all the pages together, it is one continuous image. That's right, you heard me correctly. The comic, all the pages are one continuous image. So I'm sure this has been done here and there, but very rarely. I don't know if it's been done for an entire comic either.
Yeah.
I poked around and tried to read the history on it, and I know it's been done for partial issues, but with as many comics as been made, somebody's maybe made the attempt. But very rarely, and not that often. And if you've seen the variant covers where Redondo has Nightwing doing multiple things, you'll know he is the person to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they got... Tom Taylor saw that and was like, I can write a story with this.
Yeah. Don't sleep on this one. This is going to come out, and it's going to be one of those issues where people are like, Nightwing 87, I'm not reading Nightwing right now. But then when people see the art, everyone's going to scramble for it. So that's why we have decided to feature it today. As far as what's going on in it, this is after Fear State. So right before Fear State, Tom Taylor had this really good plot where Dick Grayson had inherited all the money from Alfred, which was a fortune, and he went to the public, not as Nightwing, but as Dick Grayson and the public of Bloodhaven, and he said, hey, guess what? I'm the richest guy here now. I'm going to use my money, and I'm going to fix Bloodhaven. Well, that plot got sidelined for a little bit during Fear State, but he's back. I'm really interested to see what he does with the money and the fact that he's in the limelight, sort of the way Bruce Wayne has been.
Yeah.
So you get an awesome story told with the art, and as well, I think the plot just sounds really good here. Oh, and the solicitation also says that some hired killers break into his place and are trying to steal Haley, his dog.
That's dirty. That's low.
Yeah, the three-legged dog.
That's some John Wick mess.
Can you believe that? So a lot going on in this issue. I would definitely, even if you're not on this, you may want to just grab this issue in particular.
Mhm.
I want somebody to figure out, to actually spread out the entire thing, how many copies would you have to buy and take the pages out?
We may have to do it. Spread it across the bar here and just take a little video.
We'll each walk by and grab another one. And
Okay, so there is also this Jamal Campbell variant. They're doing this variant series of them all shirtless to go along with the one that's going on in Robins, I guess. But that's, of course, Dick Grayson with Haley, his cute dog. Don't try to break in and steal his dogs. He's got nightsticks right by the bed. He's going to hit you with.
I like the variants. Like, this whole issue is going to be nonstop movement. So he's tired on the cover. He's sleeping on the cover. No movement here.
Yeah.
Next up is not necessarily a weekly book, and I'll tell you why. This is X Lives of Wolverine #1. There's going to be X Lives of Wolverine and X Deaths of Wolverine that are going to alternate every week. I'm not sure how long they're going to do it, how many issues they are each, but this is by the current writer, Wolverine, Benjamin Percy, and he said he went out to create the biggest Wolverine story ever. And I feel like that is a very ambitious thing, considering out of all the X-Men characters, Wolverine's probably had some of the biggest, craziest stories. But with this one, it is going to take Wolverine through his past, through all the different lives he's led as being a soldier, being Patch, being all these different ones. And he is going to have to stop certain key people from dying in different parts of his life. So I don't know if this is going to be a time-traveling Wolverine who goes back to different parts of his life, or if it's, different points in his life you just see him doing those things. I'm not sure, but I believe it is pretty heavily tied in with the stuff that's going on in X-Men right now and everything, because it says that the future of not only the X-Men of the entire world is tied in with his intricate history of being alive. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is X Lives of Wolverine. I'm not sure how they're doing this, if you have to sign up for both series. I haven't checked our computer system to see how that's going to go yet. Sounds really cool. It's got some awesome variant covers that kind of reflect the idea of this. So this is our A cover. Then we have the Bagley trading card variant.
I always like that suit where he has the whiskers.
He's got whiskers. Yeah, so it's
close,
kind of first appearance of Wolverine.
Yep.
We have the CASSARA Stormbreakers variant. We have the GARCIN variant.
Gotta be Garcin.
Yep, he's now made a name for himself doing these cool collage covers.
Conan, on the Hulk.
Yep. We have the McGuinness, which I forgot what that one's called, when he was like the special ops Wolverine. I always remember the toy of that one. Then we have the MOMOKO, you've got Weapon X with some of his other personas in the background. Then, of course, it wouldn't be a Marvel #1 without a Ron Lim cover. And then we have the SLINEY homage cover, which I'm always happy to see them homaging the Hulk 181 cover. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up is Swamp Thing Green Hell. This is a 3-part miniseries in the Black Label Prestige Plus format, the big boys. So this is written by Jeff Lemire and has art by Doug Mankey. So this seems really cool. It sounds like a really good story. Love Jeff Lemire. So the premise is, it is basically a post-apocalyptic Earth. There's only a handful of humans still alive, and they're living on a mountaintop. The Parliaments want to basically start the cycle of life over. They want to just, let's erase humanity, let's start things up again. So they create a avatar to a monster to basically wipe these people out. And the only thing that could save them, of course, is going to be Alec Holland, who unfortunately has been dead for several decades, so he's a little bit rusty. Might have to see him grow all his parts back. So anyway, this is described as a gory, gruesome monster mash with the fate of humanity in the hands of someone who isn't human at all. So it sounds like a really good, tight story, just 3 parts, so definitely gonna grab this up.
It looks like it's in the Prestige Plus format as well.
I said that.
Okay. Sorry.
Alright, we also have the B cover. That first one was Doug Mankey, who's doing the rest of the artwork as well, and this is the Christian Award variant.
Island Day Swamp Thing right there. It's pretty cool.
Swamp Thing books always do really well around here. They sometimes take a while to heat up, but we always end up having a ton of people on them.
He's Island Thing. Okay, so from Marvel, here is Devil's Reign Villains for Hire. So there's not a lot about what this book is about. It's pretty much New York City is in trouble, and for some reason the Thunderbolts, Wilson Fisk's Thunderbolts, are the only team that can restore order. So this, of course, is a new Thunderbolts team that is under Mayor Wilson Fisk, who some of you might not know. He's the mayor of New York currently in the Marvel Universe. I do think it's very interesting how they are bringing the Thunderbolts around with all these rumors of them entering the MCU at some point. I think it has a lot of meaning what groups Marvel keeps sort of slinging into comics. Like all of a sudden we had a bunch of Black Knight comics. Well, why was that? Well, you know, now we know a little bit better. So this is one to possibly order, pre-order, and look into if you want to keep up with what's going on with the Thunderbolts currently. And just this cover.
It's really cool.
Yep.
Next up, we have a new book from Dark Horse. This is Cloaked, #1. And this is by Mike Richardson, who is one of the co-creators of The Mask. If you know anything about The Mask, the comic is a lot darker and a lot scarier than the Jim Carrey movie. He is also the producer of the Hellboy films, but this is about 25 years ago, there was a masked vigilante that appeared and declared his war on crime, and then he mysteriously vanished. So 25 years later, a kind of down-and-out investigator is tasked with finding what happened to this character, and in doing so, kind of learning some more behind the man in the cloak and some of the dark secrets that he had. So it sounds really cool. This is the A cover, and this is the Armangol variant. This is going to be a 4-issue series.
It's always interesting when you see a hero with guns.
Yeah.
You know, other than the Punisher, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you're a hero and you put guns in your hands, you're like, oh, you're a vigilante.
Yep.
That's the exciting thing.
All right, this is Vampirella Dracula Unholy. So if you're keeping up with what's going on in Vampirella right now, issue 25 just released where Vampirella and Dracula get married. So this is spinning out of that storyline where it follows the tumultuous tale of their newlywed lives. So this said it was a limited series. I couldn't actually find out how limited it's going to be, so we'll find that out together. But another reason we want to show you this one is that there's a lot of really good cover artists on these. So let's check them out. The first one is Perio that we just saw. This #1 B cover is Rose Besh.
I mean, that is just so manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And then we have the C cover by Mayer. D cover by EOM. Yom. That's how I'm going to say that. And then we have a Hughes variant. Looking very, not exactly, well, I guess you could see that in the figure in the car.
Yeah.
The Adam Hughes style, so
Instead
lots of cool stuff. There's
just
actually...
Married,
yeah,
just married.
just married. There's a lot more covers of this. Yes. I think it wraps around the alphabet, so definitely go check this out. I'm not kidding. There's like a ZB cover. So yeah, go check all those out.
And now it is time for other #1s. Ones that didn't get featured, but still might be very important. First up is Star Wars High Republic Adventures. This is the 2021 annual. So, you know, annuals are just one-shots. So they're all technically number ones in their own ways. This is really significant, though, because it is bringing together all 5 writers from all the High Republic books. And we're not just talking about IDW.
Yeah.
We mean Marvel. Originally, 5 people came together to sort of plot out, here's what's going to happen with all the High Republic comics. All 5 of them, for the first time ever, are writing in this one book all together. They're going to tell stories from all across the different areas of the High Republic. This is also going to be a double-size issue, which is good. I mean, you want some room to breathe for 5 different writers. You don't want to give each one 3 pages. So double-size issue. I think it's $7.99. Who knows what they're going to spring on this one. I mean, I hope they're telling competing stories.
Who can top each other.
Yeah, who's the best of the 5 High Republic writers. So this is the regular cover, and then we have the Lou variant.
Next up is our next entry into the Wastelanders story. This is Wastelanders Doom. This one I'm excited about. Anything with Dr. Doom is great. And in this one, takes the perspective of a character who actually was part of kind of creating the world as it is a wasteland. Doom was one of the villains on the day that the villains won. And now, jump ahead in time, he's kind of been keeping watch over the wasteland, but there's an area that he cannot see with whatever device or magic he's using. Something's blocking it, so he's going to have to go and investigate it. And of course, it uncovers something that's going to shake the wasteland to its core, like happens in a lot of books. But interesting to see what's going to happen. Only a couple more parts of this left in this Wastelanders series. So this is Wastelanders Doom #1.
Next up is Space Cadet. This is from the Scout imprint Scoot for younger readers, and this has to do with a child who dreams of going to the moon someday and then wakes up to find himself there suddenly. And he finds a friendly astronaut who will teach him lessons about following his dreams. Sounds like a really good one if you need a pick-me-up, or if you would like to get any of your young people in your life to read some comics. It didn't tell me how long this was going to be, unfortunately, but it sounds like a really cute, heartwarming story. So this is Space Cadet.
Another independent #1. This is Night Janek #1. That's Night with a K. With a sword and shield.
Because it clearly is a day.
So this book is described as being a cross between The Legend of Zelda and Conan. I mean, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So this takes place in the realm of Fancy Lake, where there has been an unfortunate death. It sounds like some royalty has died, and a new duke has taken over who has an unfortunate just sort of predisposition towards the occult, and that causes some problems. There's apparently a wandering stranger who comes into the tale. Not exactly sure who the main character is, other than I'm guessing this person on the cover here. So that is the description for Night Janek #1, a 3-part upcoming series from Behemoth Comics. And now we're going to go over, I forgot about my B cover. So yeah, this is the B cover by Ryan Brown.
That's really cool.
Nice.
Yep. Good to see Ryan Brown doing some stuff. I remember all his work on Curse Words, God Hates Astronauts. And then there is also a C cover by Wolski. This one you'll have to put your neck taco style to be able to see what's going on.
Neck taco.
Okay, so now we're going to our cool covers and other comics. By other comics, we mean issues #2s and 3s of ongoing series, just to remind you that you might want to sign up for them and catch up with what they're about.
Starting off, this is the variant for Amazing Spider-Man 85. This is the Peach Momoko variant, and it's a classic homage. It seems like Marvel's doing these classic homage covers like we saw with Wolverine. And in this one, it's a big Doc Ock story going on, but this time Ben Reilly versus Doc Ock, and we'll have to see how that goes.
All right, next up is Miles Morales, Spider-Man #34. There's a couple cool covers they're gonna be cool, but they're not available yet. But this is the A cover. What's going on in this is Miles and Shift are trying to find a cure, and they have to go to the assessor's headquarters to find some answers. So it sounds like an action-packed issue for #34.
All right, so go ahead and start placing your orders on this one. This is Venom number 4, the Yarden homage variant.
I've
So-
seen this somewhere.
Well, earlier on the show, we had a Hulk 181 homage.
Yep.
Now, of course, this is Amazing Spider-Man 300 homage. I really wonder what cover in comics has been done the most. And it might be Action Comics number 1. I don't know. But this has to be up there.
That's up
with
there.
as many of these as we have seen. Always cool to see it, though. There's always a lot of interest in it. So that's a lot of what our show is about. Just telling you, go ahead, place your orders on this before they just fly off the shelf. So once again, this is for Venom number 4, the Yarden Amazing Spider-Man 300 homage cover.
Next up is Catwoman Lonely City number 2. Number 1 of this came out a week or so ago. This is the book that is completely done by Cliff Chiang. The art, the writing, the colors, everything. And it's about Selina Kyle in a future where basically the villains kind of won, but they took out everyone with them. So Catwoman is now trying to investigate something that is in the Batcave, but she has to break into it to figure it out. So this is the number 2. The A cover is by Cliff Chiang, and the B cover is by Cliff Chiang.
He really was
He
just like,
did
no one else is
everything.
touching this.
He said, when I said everything, I meant everything.
Yeah, I enjoyed issue number 1, though.
Yeah.
It was really good. I have huge respect for anybody who does all of that.
He has to have been working on this for 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Aquaman the Becoming number 4. This is the cover B by Carrie Randolph. It's got everybody, the whole big group underwater here. So very nice cover for number 4.
Is it a Christmas cover? Or,
I can see what you're getting at.
it's
Yes.
like from a distance, it looks
I
like
know,
they're...
the starfish is like the top of a tree.
Yeah.
They just
I'm
happen
going
be
to say
over it.
yes. I don't know. You tell us in the comments. Is this a Christmas cover?
Okay, so this is the variant for Batman versus Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham number 4. In this issue, Batman and Bigby, they come to a truce. There are bigger things going on. Like, for instance, they're going to figure out what the connection is between Gotham and Fabletown. So, very important issue. This is the variant cover by Brian Level and Jay Leestein.
Next up, back to Catwoman. This is Catwoman number 38. This is the Frizzen cover. It looks cool. It almost looks like she has bat wings.
Yeah.
But this takes place after Fear State. And Selina decides maybe it's time she leaves Alleytown and kind of leaves it to her followers there. Because this is the last issue by Ram V before this book is taken over by Teenie Howard.
All right, this is a really nice cover for Human Target number 3. This is an art germ cover featuring Ice from Justice League International. So don't sleep on this one.
All right, so this is Justice League number 71, the Lozano variant. In this issue, wait a minute, no.
That's Flash.
This is Flash.
How did Flash himself in here?
Yes, so...
Well, actually, this is Justice League 71.
okay.
Oh, Flash is on the Justice League.
That's interesting. So, all right, this is Justice League 71. This is the Lozano cardstock variant. In this, the Justice League is trying to defeat the Royal Flush Gang, who has just pulled off a very major sort of heist. So, this is the variant. Caught us by surprise throwing Flash
Some of
on
these
there.
covers, literally, guys, we just scooped them up because things are pretty crazy right now.
Well, for a second, I thought it was the Flash variant because the Flash A cover and variant are both not available this week.
Oh, okay.
They're available to order, but they're not. So that's where the confusion came from. But Justice League number 71 variant.
Next up, this is Legends of the Dark Knight, number 8, cover B, the Christian Ward variant. This one, Batman faces down Glorious Ghost, the leader of the Ghost Dogs. I'm not sure if this is their first appearance, if the leader's first appearance is in this or not. I'm not sure, but really cool variant cover.
Next up, Refrigerator Full of Heads, number 3, the spooky, fun, weird tale spinning out of the Joe Hill stuff from DC. So halfway done with the 6-part miniseries in this. There will be a B cover, but not available yet, so this is the A cover for number 3.
So this is definitely a Christmas cover.
Oh, yeah.
A reindeer with some dude who could easily be Santa Claus. Okay, so this is the Robles variant, the workout variant for Robin's number 2. We were talking about the workout variants earlier. And in this one, in the last issue, the 5 Robins were attacked by someone who is claiming to be the original Robin. So in this issue, are they able to figure out what is going on and what is this person's deal? So, but this is the Nick Robles workout variant for Robin's number 2.
Oh, next up, this is Wonder Woman Evolution number 2. I just reviewed Wonder Woman Evolution number 1 on this last Tuesday show. Really interesting book where Wonder Woman kind of gets whisked away to be the representation of humanity in a big intergalactic fight. And but it sounds like the fights are going to be not just normal ones, because Wonder Woman wakes up on Themyscira and she has to fight Steve Trevor. Although she even says in the station she knows that it isn't real, the stakes are real and the pain is real.
I feel bad for Steve Trevor.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Maybe he's like super powered Steve Trevor.
Okay.
Alright, next up is Night of the Cadillacs number 2. This is just a 2-part series, so this is the conclusion. This is just the A cover here. The supernatural gangs, the maybe vampires. If you read number 1, which we still have plenty of copies, by the way, if this at all interests you, read a little bit more about this and don't miss it, because it's just a 2-part series.
Alright, so this is the cover for We Don't Kill Spiders number 3. This, of course, is about Viking detectives trying to track a serial killer, and this is in their own time. So if you've enjoyed the last 2 issues, around issue 3 is where we retailers start ordering a lot less. We assume that people have put it on their pull list by now. So if you like the first 2 and you haven't added it, here is your chance to add that.
Ooh, next up is Regarding Matters of Oswald's Body number 2 of 5. This is the A cover, and you read this one.
I did.
And you enjoyed this about
I
kind of
did.
the conspiracy of
Is
Lee
Oswald's body really in the ground? Was he really the killer? And they put together a team of these unlikely people who are all good at different jobs, but they're all very desperate. Of course, that's how you get them. So last issue was like a build the team for the caper, and now we get to see.
Now
what
we're
they're gonna do.
into the caper. We're seeing how. What was it? One of the guys' special ability was he's just really has good luck or something.
Not good luck. He's good at not being caught.
Okay, yeah.
He's actually not that good of a criminal because he picks kind of dumb jobs, but he's just good at getting away.
I just want to see that play out. He's a slippery fella.
Yeah.
Alright, this is Red Sonja Black, White, and Red number 5, and we're showing this off because this is a Sway variant. Of course, Swabi Sway is another up-and-coming artist, just like Rose Besh and Peach Momoko was. Now she feels like she's the mother of all these other children coming along, but didn't want you to miss this Sway variant.
Alright, from Aftershock, this is the cover to Heathens number 2. Number 1 was a really good wild issue. All these historical bad figures brought together in sort of a Suicide Squad style, except these are true historical people, to catch even worse people who have escaped from perhaps hell, perhaps purgatory. Really good premise. This is being done by Cullen Bunn and Heath Amadio. So, Heath Amadio, he commented on one of our shows. So
well,
thank you for that,
so
Heath.
nice.
But if y'all haven't read issue 1, I urge you to pick it up. If you have and you liked it, here's your chance to sign up for Heathens number 2.
Then next up, this is My Date with Monsters number 2. I also just covered number 1 of this. It is a crazy book about, how do you even explain it? They're nightmare monsters and online dating. I think is like kind of the best way to sum this up. So if you like number 1, sign up for the number 2.
Same thing here with Rick and Morty Corporate Assets. All you Rick and Morty fans, this is number 2 for the series.
And this is number 2 for Doctor Who Empire of the Wolf. This is the comic series that is celebrating the 25th anniversary of the 8th Doctor. And now we are going to other printings and graphic novels, which there are a lot of good graphic novels that are coming out this week. If this is a section you normally don't care about, you might see some things you want to read this time.
Starting off, this is Star Wars Attack of the Clones adaptation. They've been doing, IDW's been doing these little adaptations of all the movies, and this is only $9.99, so really cool little Star Wars book from IDW.
This is Marvel Studios Loki Art of the Series. It's a hardcover. It is $60, but it has 224 pages of concept art from the show, interviews with the cast and the crew. So, little behind the scenes hardcover. Hopefully it comes out before Christmas, because this would be a great Christmas gift. About $60 for this one.
So I've seen books like this. I think it is like that size where it's kind of not tall, but it's in widescreen because that's how things are filmed. That's cool. All right, so this is the latest trade paperback of that series of Kang that's just about to end. It hasn't ended yet, but it will soon. This is Kang the Conqueror, Only Myself Left to Conquer. It's going to be $15.99. I have really enjoyed this series. To me, this series has clarified and added to the history, the personality, and the motivations of Kang. I think it's probably the most important thing that's been written about Kang in, when I say in ages, it sounds like I'm making some sort of time joke, but seriously, in ages. Kang himself would have to go through time to figure out what is more important than some of the stuff that's been revealed in this book. Not just about him, but once again, his motivations, aka Ravonna. So, really good read, and if you didn't catch it all, this would be a great one to read together too, because it's deep. There's a lot there. So
next up is the next installment of these really cool books they've been putting out. This is Mighty Marvel Masterworks, Doctor Strange Volume 1. So they've done this for Fantastic Four, for Thor, for Amazing Spider-Man. And these they're a little bit smaller in size, but actually have like sequential issues of these series, which are pretty hard to find. Usually we find collections that are a little spotty here and there issues, but this, starts and goes for the whole thing. This is the Cho cover, and then they also have the original classic cover.
That's pretty cool. All the little weird things going on there.
Alright, yeah, and I love that Marvel is already soliciting what feels like it's early, but it couldn't come sooner. This is Volume 1, collecting issues 1 through 6 of the current Moon Knight run, the Midnight Mission. It is only $18. Also love these price points they've been giving us lately. So, one of the most popular series that I can think of in the past while. Everybody has been trying to get this, and no one can get certain issues if you were late, so definitely sign up for the trade paperback. This will probably sell out, I'm sure. Yeah. And then we have another Moon Knight, unless you wanted to add something.
I just wanted to add, like the Kang, this Moon Knight has been one of my favorite reads, too.
Yeah, very important.
Jed McKay's writing it. Jed McKay, his star is rising. Like, watch anything he's writing. That's all I got to say on him.
And another Moon Knight trade they're putting out. This was back in 2011. Brian Michael Bendis. This is the complete collection trade paperback for $30, and this is the unique take on Mark Spector and his splintered psyche. So that is just the one cover on this for $30.
And I'm betting they're going to be drawing quite a bit from this for the show.
Yeah,
that's what I'm betting. Bendis is.
It was a cool story where his multiple personalities took the form of Wolverine, Captain America, and Spider-Man that he would talk to and kind of act like and everything.
Okay, so this is Avengers Epic Collection. So we're going to get into these. They're releasing a series of these Epic Collections we're going to talk about. This is called The Crossing Line. This was a particular Avengers plot where the East Coast and West Coast Avengers had to get together to go international to stop a nuclear threat. So I mean, look, they're like, how can we do this cover? Let's just show a lot of characters, because there were a lot of characters involved in this. This is going to be $49.99. This includes Avengers number 319 through 333, which is the main story, and a bunch of one-shots and individual issues that linked in. So you can get that entire plot line where they all had to come together and stop this nuclear threat for $49.99.
Also, another Epic Collection. This is Daredevil Epic Collection Heart of Darkness. This takes from the 1964 era run of Daredevil, where he was caught in the middle between Mephisto and Blackheart. So kind of the otherworldly stuff going on in this collection. Also $44.99.
And yet another Epic Collection, but once again, these are really good. They always sell out here. So this is the Fantastic Four Epic Collection. Nobody Gets Out Alive. This is $45. And in this, it collects a lot of stuff. So 1961 Fantastic Four issues 377 through 392. Some Namor and some Fantastic Four Ashcan and Annual, where the Fantastic Four become the Fantastic Three as one of their members is about to die.
And then the other Epic Collection, the Thor Epic Collection. This is called To Wake the Mangog. This one is only $39.99, so it's, I think, the cheapest one. But I think it might have the most important things going on in it. So for one, this is from 1966, so we're talking Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Thor. This has a bunch of big plot lines, including the first him, who later becomes Adam Warlock.
Yep.
It has the Donald Blake plot line. It has Jane Foster's return. It has Galactus and Ego. All that's in here. Some major stories that, I mean, even people who don't read comics know about some of these stories at this point. But the main thing, the thing about Mangog is sort of a major villain during this time, and he wants to bring about Ragnarok. So a lot of big, well-known stories for $39.99.
Next up is an omnibus, so a little bit more than those Epic Collections, but this is Fall of the Mutants omnibus. And omnibuses now, used to, we'd sell one here or there. So many people are into getting these now because it's a great way to get these big, impactful stories. Marvel's really upgraded the format of the omnibuses, so this very important X-Men story, Fall of the Mutants, we have the Blevins cover, and then the classic Alan Davis cover, and this is $100.
That's a great cover, and they truly have fallen on that cover.
Yes.
Alright, and this is Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, the Marvelverse version. I really like these. They're just $10. They're great for kids. We have a ton of these in our kids section, and it's just a really good, like, intro or idea about the character. So kid comes in and is like, I want something on Moon Girl. Here you go. So of course Moon Girl is a 4th grade genius, and in this her genius is put to the test. It's the War of the Realms time period, and her toughness comes out with Devil Dinosaur. So really cute, just $10, can't beat it.
And Moon Girl is going to have, of course, an animated series on Disney Plus. So this is a good way to catch up before that happens. So this is Green Arrow Stranded. This is an all-ages Green Arrow story. So you thought Oliver Queen had it easy when he was a kid and the bad stuff happened later. Nope. When he was 13 in this, he's involved in a plane crash where he's stranded on an island where he has to learn to survive while protecting his injured father.
Sounds familiar to later on in his life.
I know, yeah. So they're sort of adding to that. But so I think this is not quite like the big format. Like it's a bit smaller format. It's still really long. I mean, it's 144 pages, I think. Just $9.99.
And next up is a really cool one. This is Batman Long Halloween Catwoman Win in Rome Deluxe Edition. So this is kind of the part 3 of the Long Halloween trilogy. This one about Catwoman heading to Rome, lettered by our good friend around here, Richard Starkings, designed this and everything. And this collects issues 1 through 6, but it's kind of the deluxe edition, so you get a lot of backup material and other really cool stuff for only $49.99.
And that's our show for today. A little bit of a light week. Some of these will be releasing around Christmas, so that's probably why they don't want to, flood themselves with work when it's going to be the holiday time. So,
well, still lots of things for you to choose from. We want to take a second and say Happy Thanksgiving. It's quite a few days away. It feels like it's a while away, but it's less than a week away. So we won't see you before then. So Happy Thanksgiving. And make sure to go out to your local shop or shops and support them on Black Friday. We will definitely have some special sales that weekend if you are local around here. We're going to post that later today, or you can come by the store and figure it out. Local comic shop day, the day before Thanksgiving. Just plan to,
just can't set a tent outside of your local comic book store and be there for those 3 days.
Yes.
And this Tuesday, Andy and I will be doing our day early review video where hopefully we'll be showing off a lot of the local comic shop day comics as well.
All right. Well, happy birthday to our co-host, Andy. And we will see you all next time.